Ranbir Kapoor encapsulates multiple ideas in a single disarming package. The boy next door with the striking good looks. The 29-year-old successor to a decades-old family tradition. The actor with great potential who's just about coming into his own. And, on Frankly Speaking, the newly crowned Bollywood rock star who wants his audience to know why he does not fit the pigeonholes assigned to Indian stardom. Ranbir speaks his heart, perhaps as never before.
Ranbir, thank you very much for joining me on Frankly Speaking.
Thank you, sir.
It's a great pleasure to meet you once again.
It's a pleasure,
And,
all mine.
and many people who will watch you tonight will hope that, Ranbir, you're going to open up.
Yes,
Because everyone wants the stars to open up.
absolutely.
Tell me about your growing up years first.
My growing up years was actually pretty normal. We didn't see dad much because, at that time actors were working 2 to 3 shifts. They were hardly home. They were shooting in Hyderabad, Ooty and Kashmir and all these places. So we've kind of not seen our father much, me and my sister. But we were very normal. We were never taken to a film set. Papa shooting, let's go meet him. We never followed that culture. So we had school, we used to come back, eat Maggie, do our tuitions, play with our friends. And
Do you get special attention because you were Rishi Kapoor and
in school?
Neetu Kapoor's son?
Yeah, absolutely. There are times when, elder students come and point at you in class and you're wondering why they're pointing at me. So there was a sense of, I'm somebody's child. That's why I'm getting so much attention. The teachers were kind of extra kind to me, even though I wasn't a good student. I wasn't good at anything in school. I was a very below average, may it be in sports and drama and in subjects. I wasn't too good. So I guess school life has been very boring for me, has been very unexciting.
When you saw your father, did you also want to be a star?
No, I don't think my father inspired me to be a star.
Others in your family?
I think my grandfather. I think his earlier work, I didn't know him. He passed away when I was really young. So I think seeing his films, it kind of made me want to be part of the movies, especially Shri Char Subis and his earlier work.
What was it about that?
I don't know, it was just somewhere his goodness reflected in it, the music, his vibe, the world that he was creating. I used to hear stories about how he used to produce, direct, act, write. He made an institution for himself.
Yeah.
At such an early age. He directed his first film, I think, when he was 20, when he acted, directed, and produced. And that's a mean feat.
So you liked 50s, 60s cinema. You didn't like the 80s, 90s cinema.
I thought 80s and 90s was quite a bad period for Indian films, barring a few films, of course. But we were very influenced. We were very lost. We were going through an identity crisis. But 50s was, I guess, the golden period.
So you didn't want to be a cinema star?
So I was never, as in my growing years, even when I was 17, 18, I never thought I'll be a star. I never thought I'd be an actor.
An actor?
I didn't have, that burning drive and aspiration wasn't there yet. It came out a few years later, I guess, when I went abroad, New York, and I lived there alone. You start getting responsible, you start seeing the world, you see how the world functions.
You were responsible in New York?
I found responsibility there, eventually, and I think that was great. Apart from all the bad things that you do.
What were the bad things you did?
I mean, you take advantage of your freedom. You may it be alcohol, drugs, and stuff like that. You try all of that, but then
Why didn't you hide this? You did an interview
right
about 2 or 3 years back. I think 2008, where you spoke about drugs.
right.
Anybody else in your position would not have said that.
So I thought it was very important for me to be honest because I have tried in my life. I don't endorse it. I am very much against drugs. But the fact that I can talk about it is just to tell you that I've tried it and it's nothing that you need to change your life with or get hooked onto. If people look up to me, I think it's important for them also to know that I'm not here trying to be dishonest to you. I'm not trying to portray myself as this holistic person and I'm doing all the bad
Were
things.
you too honest in that interview?
I was, because I remember when that interview came out, my father started getting calls from like lawyers and all that. He's a youth icon and this may, there'll be a case because he spoke about drugs. But I'm not endorsing drugs. I'm saying I've tried it in my life and I realized it's not what I want to do in my life. That's exactly what I said.
Would you say it today?
If I was doing it today, of course I would say.
No. If you were to, if you with Today, with your experience, if you were asked the question, would you hide it or?
No, so I wouldn't hide it. I wouldn't really indulge too much in it because I think it can be misconstrued. I've realized how the media operates sometimes is that if I say a statement in your show, if that statement is highlighted in a promo of yours,
Okay.
they will probably take that statement and write an article about it. That really hampers it.
Yeah. Ranbir, I want our viewers to understand you far from the conventional things which you may be asked and the conventional things you may say. So let me try and understand the way you think. If you are offered a hell of a lot of money, a tremendous amount of money, will you dance at weddings?
No, sir. Uh, I wouldn't do it because I think it will, because of the family that I come from. I don't want people, I don't, again, having said that, I don't have anything against people who do it, but it's not something which I have, the values which I've been
Now,
brought up with.
what's Shah Rukh Khan says, I would dance at weddings, I would do this, I would do that, and it is, you're almost turning, your choice into a virtue
Right.
when you say that.
So
That
money
there's
is,
nothing wrong.
I mean,
What's wrong with earning money by dancing at weddings?
there's nothing wrong. But first of all, money is not my drive. I don't want to earn billions and billions. I'm an actor. My drives are different. My passions are different. And I don't want to lose my dignity in my eyes by dancing in a wedding where people are standing with, a glass of alcohol and there could be snide comments. I wouldn't want to, see any of my family member doing that. So it's just a personal choice. I would never do it.
Yeah. You think you lose a bit of your stardom by doing that?
I don't think I lose stardom, but I wouldn't allow my stardom to, make myself think that if I'm a star, I can do anything and get away with it.
Why are you not on Twitter? Everybody is on Twitter, and not being on Twitter runs the risk of not being available,
Right.
not being cool. Why?
So
Are you trying to protect yourself?
There are two reasons, sir. First reason is I don't have anything intelligent to say. I'm not that socially and politically aware to comment on things because I'm too caught up with my world, with my life, with my work.
Talk about your life. Why don't you talk about your
I'm very
life?
shy to talk about my life. And I think the main point is the mystery level. Back then, actors had a mystery level because the media wasn't so large. Today, actors are on television shows, they're on reality shows, newspapers, news channels. So there's so much of accessibility to us, anyways, that the mystery is dying. If I'm on Twitter and I'm expressing myself, I'm only killing my mystery. So the longevity that I could have as an actor, I'm only reducing it. So like I said, I can connect and talk to my people, through my films, through my characters. They like my work. A lot of people also started writing negative things about me in the past 1.5 years. A lot of, the Casanova image and all of that.
Is that wrong?
It's not wrong, but a lot of people ask me, why don't you contradict it? If all this has been written about you, why don't you say something?
Why don't you?
I have 20 years to change that perception.
You could have contradicted it with 140 characters on Twitter or less.
I don't want to do that. If I do that, then I'm exposing myself too early to people. Let them grow with me. Let them realize who I am, what my capabilities are, what my drawbacks are, my pluses are through my journey. I think if I just expose myself so early in my career, it's been 3.5 years, I'm only killing myself.
Out of the three Khans, who is closer to where you'd want to be? No, see the way the question. Who is closer to where you'd want to be? So you can't dismiss this question by saying I want to be neither. I want to be myself.
Can I say I want to be all?
No, I think that's diplomatic.
That's diplomatic. Okay.
Think about it.
See, sir. Okay, let's see the stardom. Mr. Shah Rukh Khan has been the Badshah Khan, as people call him. He's had an amazing run. He's still on that run where he's such a big star. And the kind of films he did, he was the face of Indian cinema at one point. Amir Khan, I think, has really.
Are you going to say one nice thing about everyone?
No, I'm just trying to gauge it in my head. I'm thinking out aloud who I really want to be because I haven't really thought about it.
Who is closer to where you'd want to be?
I mean, I know it's very naive for me to say this and it's very childish and immature, but I want to be beyond them. I want to go beyond them. I think to achieve superstardom, to achieve a certain level of success, if I keep a benchmark of current superstars, I will get content if I reach there. If I reach the Shah Rukh Khan stardom, I'll be content. I'm like, oh, I've achieved it. But I want to go beyond that. Because I want to be also, I want to make movies, I want to direct movies, I want to act in my movies. So I like Raj Kapoor as my idol more than I can keep the three Khans as my idol.
That's very interesting, actually. That's very interesting. your parents married early, and they have had, a committed relationship to each other.
Right.
And I must say they're exceptional couple. They were sitting here sometime back in this interview, and it is said about you, Ranbir, that Ranbir Kapoor can't commit to any woman. Did this bother you,
No.
especially in the last 1 year?
It bothered me because of the hoo-ha that was made around it. Yes, I was in a relationship with an actress which was uh, talked about a lot. I had just started out. I was working with these glamorous actresses, and I was friendly with them. My relationship with that actress did not work out. We broke up. But I think we were mature enough to deal with it in the right way. There was no, जैसे बोलते हैं ना, रायता फैलाना post this, where people are talking badly about each other. It at least didn't come from my side. I feel that I've grown as a person. I've spent 1.5 years with that person, and that person has only added to my growth. I'll cherish that experience with her because I've learned so much about life, about commitment. You value commitment even more, with each relationship. But I'm not a commitment phobic. I've really just not met that person who I want to settle down with. It's not that because I feel I am an actor today and I will lose stardom if I marry. If I find a girl who I'm deeply in love with, I really want to marry because I feel this deep void inside me that I don't have anybody to share things with. I'm not expressive.
Not with your mom.
No, I'm not because I don't know what happened, but and it's something which I really am aware of and I want to do something about it. But me and my mother have, for some reason, just grown a little bit apart. The connect that we had. Yes, she's one person who I love the most, and I'm sure she feels the same towards me. But we've really, I've just been too detached. I don't know why.
Detached
In life, I'm not expressing myself, hanging out with my friends, with my parents. I'm just too caught up
That
with my
must be
work.
the stardom of the last
It's
3 or 4 years.
It's not the stardom because I'm not enjoying it. I'm aware of it, and I'm feeling very lonely. I need to connect. I need to connect with my parents. I need to share. I need to make them happy. I need to hear them out. But I'm very conscious about it, and I want to do something
Is
about
it because you've got too busy?
Actually, sir, this last 1 year I've not been that busy. I've been more or less at home.
Are there too many hangers on around you?
Zero.
Are there psychophants around you?
Zero.
Yes men and yes
they all,
women.
to me, even if I have like
PR people, publicists. There are publicists all over nowadays. You
yes,
can't reach out
but
to.
I have another take on publicists, sir. I think PR is the death of an actor because what happens is if you use PR the wrong way, you start believing it. People who plant articles about themselves or about other actors, it becomes a very addicting game. And you start believing that my stardom is only dependent on how many times I've featured on a certain newspaper. I think PR is something that you have to use very intelligently where your films are concerned. And you use PR intelligently when you're really doing something. When you don't believe in something, and if I'm going to this charity event for a PR exercise, it doesn't make sense because an audience sees through it. If you don't believe in something, they will always see through it. Like for example, Salman Khan believes in the Being Human Foundation. That's why it's such a big success. That's why people have, wear Being Human t-shirts. They look up to the man so much because he really believes in it. So unless you really have belief in it, just for the sake of doing a PR exercise, doesn't make sense.